present, and quite possibly the future. I don't know if anybody heard that.
Yes.
Nobody heard that?
I heard it.
Yeah, because we're taking it to the moon, baby. Once
To the
again.
moon!
To the moon.
Last night, me and the homeboy Anomaly covered night 1 and night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom. You know, we're giving y'all some alternatives to listen to besides us jaw-jacking about and complaining about WWE, which we're about to probably do right now. But hey, man, this is what it is. Wrestling is Trash is the people's podcast. Whenever you got a gripe and complain or whatever it is you want to talk about pertaining to professional wrestling, hit your boy up. I'll send you a link. We can get in the chat if we could do the goddamn thing. So, Mr. Anicelli, since you called us here today to adjourn on these wrestling streets and whatnot, Hurt Business in the house, past and present, what you got for us? What we got on the docket?
So I guess what did we all think of Monday's episode with the Legends? I personally did not get to watch it. I just watched the glimpse because I'm moving, all that shit. But I guess for maybe the active watchers, what did you think of it?
That would be on you because I am not fitting of that category. I am not an active watcher of Monday Night Raw. Matter of fact, I just for the hell of it, I turned it on Monday, not realizing that it was the Legends night. Mm-hmm. And I was 5 minutes in and I was like, let me grab this Xbox controller real quick and play some Call of Duty.
All right, so I guess it's on me. I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, I understand what they're trying to do. I understand that they're trying to like promote the Legends and draw viewers and stuff. It's the new year. They're trying to get everything going. What's going on, Gabe? But to me, it didn't feel like a Legends night at all. Like if you go back to like the Raw, 20th anniversary, the Raw 25th anniversary and all that stuff, it's like the Legends were presented so well. I felt like this was just, a way to solidify Randy Orton, the way he was just going around and belittling everybody and just talking shit to him. It's like, who are we really celebrating here? You know what I mean? Like, I felt like they were more trying to enhance Randy's Legend Killer character. Like, I will say this. The spot with him and Mark Henry, where Mark Henry is like in his little walker and he's like trying to, or his little scooter or whatever, because he messed up his leg. And, even that, it's like you're making the world's strongest man walk away with his head down in shame like a little bitch because Randy Orton's punking him out. It's like, damn, that's how we treating our legends. You see Ric Flair getting slapped by Charlotte Flair, and it's like, damn, this is what we're doing to our legends. And then, not to, throw more fuel on the fire. It was kind of awkward where, Terry showed up and Terry tells, Drew that he hopes he beats his opponent tonight, who is of African American.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like just little things. It's like, it's not me being nitpick. I know it's me being nitpicking, but it's just like, come on, man, we gotta do something better than that. And for everybody out there, for the millionth time, Alicia Fox ain't a fucking legend. Alicia Fox is not a legend in any way, shape, or form. I don't know what she's a legend of. What has she accomplished that's legendary aside from being a captain of the SmackDown?
Hey, she won the bragging rights team. She was the Divas champion. She was the first African American Divas champion.
Oh my God. Breaking down barriers.
Man, don't you discount that accolade, God damn it. Y'all wearing hurt business shit right now. We represent the Black community.
No, I understand that, but I'm sorry. It's 2021 now. We can call a spade. All right.
Yeah.
The thing.
Ho. A spade? What is we saying? What is we doing?
You know what I mean. But you know what I'm saying? Like Alicia Fox, I'm sorry, she's not categorized as a legend in my eyes.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. It's just like some people confuse tenure, with
legend,
with legacy.
Yes.
Like Rob, let me ask you a question, right? What's the most legendary thing Tatanka has ever done in his career?
The war dance and the chop.
Yeah.
Or when he sold out to Ted DiBiase, right? I'm sorry, with all due respect, Tatanka ain't a legend. You know what I'm saying? It's like a veterans night.
Yeah, veterans night.
Or they can call it Raw old school, like they did before.
Yeah.
And you know what? I agree with that because here, coming from me, like I guess the younger guy, I only know Tatanka as the guy who did SmackDown in like 02, 03. for a little bit, and that was it.
That little quick run.
So like me, like I get it. I know more about Pax than maybe some my age group who've been watching like me. But yeah, I agree. Like someone like him, no. I just think the thing I did like about it from what I read and all the podcasts I listened to is it wasn't like, well, here are our legends going to beat the crap out of our young people all the time. At least the young people got and Goldberg, whatever, that's fine. At the end, you got to have storyline. But we all know what our boy Ali said.
That was amazing. He spoke from my mind. He's just like, I retweeted that with, I took that at the same sentiment as what people were talking about the new trilogy of Star Wars movies. It's like, oh man, this is that bullshit. They're killing off our nostalgia and all this shit. And when I heard the Ali promo, I retweeted that with a clip from one of the Star Wars movies saying, kill your past. I mean, well, let the past die. Kill it if you have to. And it's along the same shit. Yeah, we know old school shit was cool for its time, for its era, and they did open the door for a lot of the younger talent. They were inspiration for the current crop of wrestlers we have now. We know that. We acknowledge that. We honor that. But we trying to make a future for the next crop of professional wrestling fans or whatever. We've had our era of fans. We have our era of nostalgia. We trying to create stars and nostalgia for another era right now. We can't do that with the same old motherfuckers from other eras.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree. And then that's where we say like times like this when I don't know if Tatanka had a streak like that. Someone can answer that. Maybe
Tatanka had a good streak.
Back in the gap, yeah.
Yeah, Tatanka had a pretty good streak up until he fought Shawn Michaels. He had a decent streak going. They were building him up to like the IC title and stuff, but even with that, he never truly achieved anything from it.
But then it's like you get the Legends night, and I guess it's going to kind of go into the next thing. Like then you finish the show with Goldberg, and Goldberg's the legend. Obviously, he's a Hall of Famer. He deserves all those titles.
I didn't hear all the verbal exchange between the two, but I seen a little snippet of the highlight of it. So
pretty much what happened.
So Goldberg and Little Jimmy are in cahoots. You don't get what I'm saying. So
I
crawled in the ring behind Drew and got down on all fours, and Goldberg pushed him over.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's just I really hope they do the right thing and have Drew win.
That's a good point by Dan though. All the streaks stop with the click.
It's true.
Except the Undertaker's, damn it.
Valid point. It's a valid point. Mm-hmm. Well, this is my thing with the whole Goldberg thing at the end of the night, right? And I understand. I know Meltzer and Alvarez, talked about it later on, saying that there was supposed to be a promo from Drew where he was supposed to cut a heelish type promo towards the Legends. But the way it came across, it just came across so left field that it didn't make sense. It's like somebody going into, this is the analogy I'll use, right? It's like going into a pizza shop and trying to order a cake. It's like, what does this have to do with anything that occurred throughout the entire night with Drew McIntyre, where he's disrespectful towards legends and all? It's like it just didn't make sense. But I'm assuming it's WWE, trying to make up for the time that they lost during the match and throughout the night, where I guess Drew was ready to cut a promo, like to cut some type of a promo. So it's either A, you were trying to turn Drew kind of heelish and Goldberg was supposed to come and save the day, or B, you could have just cut it out and saved it till next week. You know what I mean? If anything, I would have had Drew just cut the promo and have the show just end on like that awkwardness. Like, why is Drew talking about these legends like this? Mm-hmm. Then to just have Goldberg rush out and bury Drew when it sounds like everything he was saying should have been directed towards Randy, because Randy throughout the entire night was going up to all the legends and talking shit to them and belittling them and saying, don't forget, I am the legend killer. By the snap of my fingers, I'll take your ass out. It felt like it was just directed at the wrong person. It's like, do you know who Randy Orton is? Like, Randy Orton don't got long hair and a big ass beard. You're looking at the wrong guy. Like, you're talking to the wrong one. Like, it just came across so awkward that even if I wanted to give it a chance, it's DOA. It was DOA for me.
They should have just done a stare down and not even talked. That even would have been better.
That could have worked.
Yeah, because it's just you got to think.
I mean,
And I guess I'm gonna
Goldberg
ask
Goldberg just narrowed down to a catchphrase anyway. All he had to do is come in the ring, stare him down,
say,
pick
"You're
up the
next."
mic, pause. You're next.
Yeah,
Look,
That could
you're
work.
done.
yeah.
That could
But
work.
it's just so when we started doing these predictions, as I like to call it, me and Rob. I know you've done it, Brian. I have to try to remember when I asked you, but when we did who is going to win the 2021 Royal Rumble, I think Rob stuff and I started going monthly to this in like June or July.
Yeah.
And our first pick was
Aleister
Aleister Black.
How that age?
Yeah. Well,
Not well.
not well. I'm going with my thing. I'm going to go with Daniel Bryan at this point. You got to go DB versus Roman because I don't know what you guys think. Say Goldberg. The only thing is you got to think Goldberg's going to win as much as you don't want it. If he loses, where does Goldberg get his Mania match? Unless he includes, say, Keith Lee wins or say Daniel Bryan wins and Goldberg loses. Is it just Goldberg's second chances at Mania, or are they going to have Goldberg win and once again do a Brock Drew thing?
I don't know. Like this threw me off. Like literally I'll tell you right now, on Sunday, I actually gave a whole different prediction because I was like, all right, maybe they're not going with Goldberg or whatever. Or if they do go with Goldberg, I was thinking it was going to be like most people was directed towards Roman. Originally, you guys know I was championing Daniel Bryan. I thought the Bryan Roman storyline makes a lot of sense, and I still lead that way for the SmackDown brand.
Mm-hmm.
For the Raw brand, I actually had a different point of view. I actually had a different opinion where I thought about it, and I was just like, let me put all the pieces together and make it like this. And I'll say it for you guys on your show, Rob. Where are they currently filming their shows?
Orlando, Tampa.
Yeah,
They're in
Flo
Tampa.
Rida.
They're in Tampa now.
They're gonna get Flo Rida for WrestleMania
in Tampa. Okay. Who lives in Tampa? That is a former WWE superstar that currently isn't on the roster. Who currently does have free time in between filming movies and TV shows, and that could come out at number 30, get the job done, win the Rumble, and literally turn heel just like that. Yes,
Cena.
Rob, John
Yeah.
Cena. I actually wanted to go with Cena because you can build a storyline with 2 words. Number. No, that works too. Number 17.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can literally do 3 months of building Drew versus Cena for number 17. It's an easy storyline. It's even though there are people who still hate John Cena, which I will still never understand. Like, I'm not a Cena fan, but I'm not a hater of the guy. You could build a storyline that's like, I want the record. And this could be the heel Cena that we always wanted, where he can come and end his career with WWE, pass the torch, because Cena, as much as people say he buries everybody, he elevates a lot of talent too. You know,
Hell yeah.
he
Bray
could
Wyatt, AJ Styles.
Exactly. Kevin Owens,
Nakamura.
Yep.
Nakamura, you know what I mean? Like
Sami
Cena could have been that transitional piece to get us out of the old school into the new school and pass the torch to Drew and literally come in and do 3 months of heel work. The whole Fear the Name thing that no one ever got to see, that he had the custom outfit built for, the music that he never used. 3 months of heel Cena to end his career would have been great. Just like when The Rock came back as Hollywood Rock. It could have worked.
Which was fucking great.
I will say this to the end of time. Him and the Hurricane, those 3 weeks of promos were some of the best promos WWE's ever done. Pure comedy. Pure comedy.
But the only thing I love that idea. The only thing is though, Cena is going to be promoting Fast 9 or Furious 78. Are they going to let him do that? Because if you remember when Rock got hurt against Cena, that delayed a lot of time and money and all that. So I wonder if Cena's under like that alibi where he's like, oh no. But no, I agree. I think that's honestly amazing. Now I'm mad because it's not going to happen and I want it to happen. So thanks.
And even if
I'm sorry, that's what I'm known for.
and even if we injecting Cena into the mix of anything or whatever, we can even put him on the SmackDown side and put him up against Roman because there's some unresolved shit right there.
True.
Because Roman already beat him too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it was the whole promo that Cena cut on him, which somebody reminded me of last night when he was telling them when Roman was trying to be badass and be like, you a part-timer and all this other bullshit, and Sneed snapped on his ass, talking about, well, shit, you just mad because I can do this part-time, but you can't even do full-time. You know, if you were doing your fucking job, I wouldn't have to come back.
How much of that do you think was actually staged? Honestly.
I mean, I don't know. Based on the fact that Roman kind of like got lost in his words during that little promo. Yeah, and then Cena just snapped at him. And don't get me wrong, Roman did his thing too and like snapped right back. Like he got his lines in too. But to me, like I said, with all due respect to Roman, like I said, with Roman's side on SmackDown, you have credible contenders. Okay, yeah, on Raw, there is nobody built up for Drew. That's why I had a feeling either for Rumble or Mania, they have to bring somebody in. So to me, it makes more sense for them to use Goldberg with Drew than it would have been to use Goldberg versus Roman. But it doesn't mean I'm happy. Oh, go ahead, Nick.
Oh, no. So you finish and then I'll go because mine's not different, but you finish.
Yeah, but no, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, on SmackDown, you have credible people there that could actually contend for that title. You know what I mean? Like, you got guys who are getting wins who, and especially now that Roman is a quote-unquote heel, again, because people were praising Owens' work. You have a guy like Bryan who's always in the reserve that, you know, in case of emergency, break glass. You know, you had the Uso storyline, which has been killing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, as much as like, you know, people look at Jay, it's like, oh, he's still a tag team guy. He has been elevated. He has turned into a main event player, you know, but don't forget, he still has a brother in a tag team that will eventually come up. On the Raw end, you've already wasted Keith Lee in the early part of his run in the title picture. You know what I'm saying? Sheamus, the heel turn, it's like, yeah, we all see it coming from a mile away, but what has Sheamus really done? AJ now is turning face, I guess, you know, with Omos. I don't know what's going on there. And then who else do you really have? Like, everybody else is involved in the storyline. So for Drew, he needs something fresh. He needs something different. Is the Goldberg thing the best move? No. Is it something to hold us over till Mania? Maybe. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I don't know what they're doing out of Raw. That's the only other reason why I can say it has to be, like, to me, it's either redoing Goldberg, and like you said, Goldberg's probably going to win, and maybe Drew gets his rematch at Mania or between now and then. So I honestly don't know. But go ahead, Nick.
I think Goldberg's going to win, sadly. Drew's going to win at the Chamber to fight Goldberg. Because here's the thing. Goldberg, we all know, was signed on for 2 shows a year. And they ain't going to Saudi. Probably realistically, this year they probably aren't. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if you're going to have him on at Rumble, you're going to have him on in Mania. So the only thing is, if Goldberg lost, who the hell faces him? Now, granted, you could go easy. All right, Drew beats him, and then Keith Lee fights him. Jackhammer, you know what I mean? And Goldberg lets Keith get over. But this is coming from the guy Goldberg, who wouldn't let the Fiend beat him like he was supposed to because he thought it'd ruin his reputation.
Mm-hmm. Man,
think about that.
What I'm thinking about right now, this match is slated for the Royal Rumble, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
It would have made more sense if, you know, because all this shit we talk about is, you know, our thoughts and hypotheticals and all kind of things like that.
Yes.
If the plan is Drew versus Goldberg at WrestleMania, I would have much rather, because I mean, I don't like it either way if it's in a singles match or put Goldberg in the fucking Rumble. You know, that way you still get the same result with one less match, essentially. You know,
yeah,
but I really got to do shit. You can put him in at 30, you can put him in at 15, you can put him in at 28. You just come in, do a couple things, throw some bitches out, and that's it. You know,
I don't think I'd want Goldberg to win the Rumble.
Yeah, and
it's just
and I can kind of see that as well, because like
that's a young person's
people want someone relatively new to win the Rumbles or whatever, and to put Goldberg in the Rumble, there's going to be complaints about, oh, he took a spot, oh, it's Goldberg, why you got to be in the Rumble? And it'll just sour people, even if Goldberg wasn't slated to win the Rumble. Just him being in the Rumble is going to sour people on it. Period, because he's got to win. We know he's gonna win or some bullshit like that. So.
The only veteran who's gonna win, who would win that no one would care about, is Daniel Bryan. Honestly,
true, but he's an active member.
Yeah, exactly. But the only thing I don't like about like the Goldberg storylines and the Lesnar storylines,
And he's here.
granted,
I agree.
no, is like you think about it. Goldberg and Drew fight at Mania. You know Drew's gonna win, and I guess I don't.
I just heard Chris's comment.
Yeah, I don't like the easy prediction match. Even last year before COVID, when they were building up to Drew and Lesnar, as great as a match it probably could have been even in person.
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of when you know they're gonna win. Like, kind of example, Rob, we were there. We knew Seth was going to beat Lesnar. It was still a hype moment because it was WrestleMania. It started the show, everything. But Kofi and Bryan was better because, one, the storyline, but two, you really didn't know if Kofi was going to win.
Mhm.
Like, when Kofi generally got that 3 count, it was like, whoa. Because then you could go back to the whole Booker T Triple H thing. Everyone probably thought Booker T was going to beat Triple H at that Mania. And he didn't. So it's like that's the only thing I like.
Triple H has to vanquish all the legends of WCW. That's why when he went up against Sting, he was on stage with those heads in the bag to represent every WCW legend that he conquered.
He ain't wrong.
But it's just think about though, like when they do DB and Roman, it's going to be good because is Roman going to win to cement the legacy more, or is DB going to be the one to get him off it? Mm-hmm. So that's why I like, man, fuck her off.
And I'll say this too. I'm a Bryan Danielson fan, and to me, I'm personally at the point where if I had to pick a winner in that match, if it is Roman and Bryan, I would still go with Roman.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean? I would keep the whole. And don't get me wrong, the tribal chief thing, I am 100% behind it. Like I'm one of those people that at first was not a fan of Roman, and it was for me, it was like, all right, he's getting this way too soon. He's definitely not ready in my eyes. And as a person who's watched pro wrestling for 36 years, I've been on this earth. You know what I mean? Like I could see, I'm not a pro. I've been in the ring and trained. I've had a couple matches, but I've never been one of those people that's like, oh, I made it to like dark matches and all this other shit. No, I'm just the guy who wrestled locally. But I also know and can see, when something isn't done right because I understand the basics. And at the time, Roman he could barely do the basics. It's like we watch Nia Jax. It's like, yeah, no, she's horrible. And we could tell she's horrible by just watching her. You don't got to be a pro to know that she's horrible. Mm-hmm. But Roman now has elevated himself, and his matches work around him. It's not him working to other people. It's other people working to him. You know what I'm saying? So for him and Bryan, I'm actually all for Roman keeping the belt, surprisingly. Because I think Bryan would elevate him in the ring. Like wrestling-wise, it would be a great matchup, but it would be that one win where Roman, to me, wrestling-wise, needs that stamp of I had a great match. Like, don't get me wrong, the story with Jey Uso is great. Kevin Owens is a great brawl, great fight. But Bryan would bring that wrestling match out of Roman that we need to see, and it would be great for him to do it at WrestleMania. And with all due respect to Bryan, he doesn't need another title run. I wouldn't mind if he had a title run, but it would be great for him to, get one more in. But right now, it works for Roman. Like right now, we should be building around Roman compared to before when they were forcing us to build around.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I think the problem is too is though, like back in the day in the Attitude Era, right? You had Austin and Rock could both be baby.
Nick?
you had baby faces and heels. Then once Cena came along, this isn't a rag on Cena. I've loved Cena. You know what I mean? I'll still say John Cena sucks like everyone else, but I like him. But
part of the problem, Nick.
He was the only one until for years could maintain continuously being a babyface until honestly probably about 2014 or 15. Then everyone's like, all right, dude, like it's been like 10 plus years of this. We're kind of sick of your shit. But WWE, I felt, wanted that, continue that with Roman. You can always only be a baby face. That's it. But it's like, look at the Attitude Era. Like Rock was one of their biggest star, and he was a heel a lot of the time. I think they're finally realizing, like our biggest dude, which is Roman, now can be a heel. Mm-hmm. And I think I think they just wouldn't accept that their biggest star could be a heel. Because you still see, if you follow Roman on Twitter, he'll put his little comments like about storylines, but he'll still go out there and share his tweets about leukemia stuff, which is fine.
Because, I mean, it was a thing to where, like, it depends on the person as well. Because a lot of that stuff, Cena was open about changing and doing different things with his character, but there was also a time to where he didn't want to change his character because of the Make-A-Wish shit and all the other things.
Yeah.
So it also depends on the person itself. I mean, Roman, I think if they tell him to go out and do this, he would be like, all right, cool, and go out and do it. I don't think there'd be too much of a fuss about it. That's just, it depends on the person in this situation. To go back to old Roman shit, you talk about he wasn't ready. I think he was just a victim of a lot of circumstances.
Yes.
He got hurt when he was with the hernia when he was getting over with the fans and whatnot. Now, when he should have won that Rumble, he didn't win the Rumble. He didn't even have to win the match at WrestleMania if that's what it was going to lead to. But he should have had that opportunity, and they pulled that shit away from him. Then he got stuck in that shit when they went overseas, and a lot of people couldn't come back. He got stuck in that shit.
Don't forget the meningitis.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the sole survivor, the one that Dolph Ziggler was for. So he had prime opportunities to put him in a prominent position, but he was just always a victim of circumstance.
And then the one big circumstance that's not on him was 2015 winning that Rumble. And it was only because Daniel Bryan came back. And it's not no disrespect to Daniel Bryan, but you could think, Daniel Bryan was like white hot. He was killing it. So like it wasn't, I don't think it was the fans shitting on Roman then. I think it was the fans shitting on WWE.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, well, Rob, I guess you were there at that Mania match before Rollins cashed in. Who was like more people cheering for generally?
There was on the Brock train. There were people in the stands. And you know how Roman came down through the rafters, jumping in front of the dude, flipping him the bird and doing all kind of shit. Just like it was horrible. It was just like, wow. Also from that same WrestleMania, buku Rusev fans. Everybody wanted Rusev to win. They had Bulgarian flags in the crowd, just being wave all around and everything. They wanted Rusev to win that shit, but nah.
It's crazy as awful as what's going on.
He came out on the goddamn tank.
He also had sex in the tank.
Yeah.
See? Why wouldn't you want that man to win?
as awful as it is to say, because obviously COVID's not good, COVID was the best thing to happen to Roman Reigns, though. Because if COVID didn't happen, he would have beat Goldberg. He'd still be wearing the vest. He'd still be coming out as Universal Champ, like, do whatever. It's crazy because they changed everything about him. Heel, he doesn't wear a shirt. He wears a gold glove now. The only thing they kept was his music, which I like that music. Personally, I like it.
I was like, man, I was like, if he's gonna make the change, I mean, you get rid of that shit too. But then, it was back to me asking myself the same question. It's like, man, they need to get him out of that vest and all this other bullshit. But then I was just like, damn, well, what will this motherfucker wear? So I was just like, well, fuck it, just I guess work with it.
I think it's because he didn't have a single, like, he didn't have a long FCW or NXT really run. You know what I mean? So it's not like they had something to revert back to. Kind of like when Ambrose, when he split, he kind of went Moxley. You know what I mean? They just obviously royally.
When he was down in when he was down in FCW early NXT or whatever, Reigns used to wear suits and he used to wear trunks.
Yep.
And there was also a period of time where he wore the beads and the freaking
the luau thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I ain't trying to be disrespectful, like the little hula skirt and shit.
I don't know what it is either.
But yeah,
I don't know. I just think I hope DB wins the Rumble, but it just sucks because Goldberg's gonna win, and it's crazy. You know how like what's awful about WWE? Goldberg, if he wins, this will be his 5th championship reign, to include WCW. So that means he had one in WCW. He had that one that lasted a month in WWE when he beat Triple H. That means 2 out of his 4 current title reigns was that bullshit one over Kevin Owens and over the Fiend.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they could have done that then.
But to me, with Goldberg too, what kills me with him is his WWE runs. If you really look at him, even though he's winning championships, they're not booked right. Like every run he's ever done in WWE has been a shitty run. Like, I don't get it. Like, I understand people defend it. They love Don't get me wrong. You like who you like. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to judge you and hate you for who you like or whatever. But if you really look at Goldberg's runs, none of them ever make sense. None of them were really that good. And there's always something negative that comes out about it. Like,
are you talking about the runs or the matches?
The both. Well, in total, you can look at the promos from back in the day. Like, remember the whole thing with him and Brock? Like, how great was that?
You know, I just think with Goldberg, they're not using him like they should. Like, at the end of the day,
facts, Chris.
Well, yeah, with Brock Lesnar, right? Everyone loves Brock. I don't care who you are. Everyone loves Brock Lesnar. That Rumble last year was amazing. That he was dancing MVP's music. Like, he's great. But no one just likes seeing him with the title. Like, they were doing good with Goldberg. He came in, squashed Lesnar after all them years. Then Vince, like, got an erection and was like, nope, we're going to put – because them two easily could have fought again at that WrestleMania without the title. They just have that problem of putting these big names like Brock – well, not big names, just Brock Lesnar and Goldberg with the title. But then it kind of makes you think, do you think Lesnar fights at this Mania?
Maybe.
And if so, who? Because if they're going to go do you think Keith Lee?
Maybe Lesnar's your Rumble winner.
Maybe.
The running back, him and Drew.
Yeah. How would you feel? I
think there would be more juice for the squeeze if you put Brock on SmackDown and he had a confrontation with Roman.
Agree with that too.
That's what I want. And Brock's on his own. But what if on the Raw side, say Drew wins, or we'll say Drew loses, so Goldberg wins.
Mm-hmm. Lesnar
comes back, wins the Rumble.
Thrice in a lifetime.
Right? Then Drew, long story short, somehow it gets to a fatal four-way with Drew, Brock, Goldberg, and Keith.
Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it because they are actually using current talent. You know,
I'd rather see Brock against either Keith Lee or Roman, but it's obviously
that would have just been cool. Just a thing just to do, just because you don't even need a hype package or whatever. Keith Lee just bumping I keep saying Goldberg and Brock because mixing them up. You bump into freaking Brock in the hallway and be like, "Hey, bitch! Hey, you bitch!
WrestleMania.
How about this? Just Brock and Keith Lee at Mania. I'm okay with that.
That's what I want.
I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Even if Keith Lee eats I know people will be like, oh, you're going to bury young talent. Nah, even if he goes against Brock and loses, I'm okay with that. Because you know why? It allows Brock to elevate another young person. I know, especially on my show, we get into it back and forth about, someone giving the rub or carrying and blah, blah, blah. Brock Lesnar is a draw. As much as some people don't agree with it, Brock is a draw. The way he's being utilized is being this killer machine, destroy everybody, suplex city, bitch, all that stuff. I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? I was okay with Brock having those runs where he wasn't showing up for a couple of weeks because what are we going to do with him anyway? You know what I'm saying? Plus, it makes his title matches feel bigger. You know what I'm saying? I was okay with that. It's just like in boxing and MMA, the world champion ain't fighting every month. You know what I'm saying? It takes a couple months for someone to actually be built up as a contender to fight the guy. So I was actually okay with the whole Brock run. What I wasn't okay with was the fact that, he really was just showing up and just bouncing. It's like, all right, Brock, you could say a word or two. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could talk some shit. We'll never forget Eddie Guerrero mariachi. I will never forget that. You know what I'm saying? Or him and Kurt Angle.
He's entertaining. He's great.
He's very entertaining. It's funny because this younger generation for the past 6 to 7 years has no idea how great Brock Lesnar really is. Like they just see, he's with Paul Heyman. He doesn't talk. He doesn't do nothing. He just stands there. Yeah, but trust me, the motherfucker's gold. He's good. He's good. He's really good.
Yeah, think about it, because Brock, I guess a little tangent here. Brock's first WWE run, instantly Hall of Famer right there, just off that. And that was literally technically a year and a half. Yeah. Technically.
I think at that point in time, he was one of the youngest WWE champions.
He was until Randy. Mm-hmm. Then you have he does so much little things. Like, look how he elevated Samoa Joe. I thought that was awesome, him and Joe. I thought that was great. Then you have little things like last year, I read about it. When one of the times when this is before COVID, right before, but him and Drew were already fading off. Just that time when Drew kept hitting him with claymores and ran back out and hit him on stage. And I guess there's like glimpses of videos of Lesnar while he's on the ground telling Drew, like, pick up the title, pick up the title.
Yep.
Like, Brock's entertaining. He's smart. He knows the business. Because I don't even care. That Rumble match he was in last year, that was a hard spot to be in.
I will give him props up and down for that Rumble match. I thought it's funny because me and Mr. Bird actually booked a Rumble match based around Brock Lesnar. Like, we literally spent an hour basing a Rumble around Brock Lesnar.
That's what you do with Brock Lesnar.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, yes, people got to remember, Brock is a commodity. Like, it's not like the whole Goldberg thing. There's two totally different things between Goldberg and a Brock Lesnar. Like,
Yes.
I will take Brock's career over Goldberg's career any day, with all due respect to his WCW run. But Brock Lesnar was a prodigy. Like, he legit was the next big thing. And they treat him like the next big thing. Like, even to this day, they treat him like he's a big deal.
I tell you, I put it in this way. Goldberg was on the cover of WCW Mayhem, which was a shitty game.
Horrible.
Brock was on Here Comes the Pain.
there you go. There you go. There's the example right there. But
and wasn't he? Yeah, and he was on 2K17.
That is true. He was.
See? There you go.
But I mean, like, the booking of Brock has always been good. Like, I don't have any complaints about Brock's career, even his return. Like, at first people were like, oh, well, he lost to Cena, he lost to Triple H. It's like, yeah, like, don't worry about that bullshit. Worry about all the other shit he did. But to me, I feel like a Brock Lesnar will give back to this business when the time is right. Like you were talking about with the whole thing with Drew, where he was like, pick up the belt, and he's like leaning over and telling him to do this. If you go back to the Rumble and you watch that Claymore kick that he gave when he eliminated him after Ricochet low blowed him,
sold that.
It was not even that he sold it. He put his face right there for Drew to kick. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. Brock Lesnar.
That was even when the one time that Seth hit him with that curb stomp, and he fucking ate the goddamn canvas.
Yeah, when Brock will sell for you, he will sell for you. He will make you look like $1 million when the time is right. That's the one thing I will always say about Brock Lesnar. You can talk about how Vince treats him or how they're booking him. Brock will always do right by the business when the time is right. If he believes in you, he will sell for you. He will make you look good. He will make you look like $1 million.
And then there's like a few other things like with Brock, like when you talk about it, right? It's just like he's been in predicaments where he's had the belt for a long time because it was WWE fucking up.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
So to Brian's point there,
yes,
if he believes in you, he'll daggone make you look good.
Yes.
So what was the deal with Dean Ambrose? I guess he didn't believe in that motherfucker.
Well, no, he did.
mean,
he said that. He said it.
Yeah.
Brock had no interest in that match.
He had none whatsoever in that match.
Yeah. And if, like, kind of like I was saying, though, right? So Brock wasn't champion. He beat Cena in 2014, which I thought was fine, right? Mm-hmm. And then whoever got over on him, I forget who it was. Oh, Seth finally was the one. But anyway, right? Then you got to think. You got to have him beat Goldberg for the title at that WrestleMania because Goldberg's leaving, Brock, whatever. Then they should have. The only time they shouldn't have put the title on Brock when they shouldn't have was at Crown Jewel after Roman had to relinquish it or whatever. They should have had Braun win that match, in my opinion. But you got to think he did the job right after the Seth. He did the job to friggin' Seth again at SummerSlam. He did the job to Drew. He did twice to Drew, if you want to consider it. I'm telling you, I think he knows what's up. Brock, I don't know. I think Brock, and you got to think even that awful match that he had at Mania with Roman, the Mania New Orleans, Rob, the one you were at where it was a man or whatever. Fucking, you could tell like, yeah, okay, Brock might be there as kind of more of a business guy, do what he has to do and leave. But if he didn't care about entertaining and getting people over to whatever, would he have been that pissed off that he called Vince McMahon an asshole and threw a belt at him?
Agreed.
Because if he didn't care, he would have just walked back there and went about his business. That's why I think he made it a point. Because he wants to entertain. He made it a point that following year in Mania. If you watch the WWE 24 on WrestleMania in New York, that was scheduled to go second to last.
Yep.
I think Brock saying, no, F this. I'm not letting what happened last year happen again. Put me on first. I think that was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
I think that was the best thing ever because we were there. That was a long-ass day. If you had that go second to last, even if it was that quick, everyone was already exhausted between Kofi alone. Just Kofi alone sucked everything out of everyone.
I'll tell you right now, I personally think that Brock wasn't a fan of the whole Kofi thing. Like the 8 seconds thing, I don't think he was a fan of that. Like personally, and with all due respect, to Kofi, because we all know, you know what I'm saying? Like we all know how the wrestling community is, how people will be like, oh, you know, Team Kofi, and then all of a sudden they all disappear from Team Kofi's side.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, it was just like, I felt like Brock wanted to work with Kofi. Like you could just look in his eyes and just be like, yeah, this is like, he looked like he was just going in, getting the job done and walking out. Like that's all, because it was for Fox. But like I was saying before about him actually caring for people, look at what he did for Samoa Joe. How much offense did he sell for Samoa Joe? You know what I'm saying?
I thought Joe was going to beat him.
Yeah. It was legit that good.
We thought a lot of people was going to beat him.
Yeah. He when the time is right, Brock will sell for you. Brock will make it look like Brian. Remember Brian?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And
people,
AJ, both of them.
People were looking at that match like, oh, he's going to eat them alive. And what did he do? He made them look like stars to the point where you're like, holy shit, Brian's going to win. And then, you know, Brock ends up winning the thing. But really quick, I was going to say, I saw Anthony's thing about the young roster guys. I want to transition to it really quick, B-Rob. I know what you're showing off.
Hey, that's what we do here.
But you talked about this earlier with the whole Mustafa Ali thing, right? Could you elaborate more on that? Because I do want to talk about that too, about what Mustafa Ali said.
Is you working? But the goddamn, is you getting mauled? Help me, please.
He says he's in DC.
He's in DC. Oh
You're
shit!
in DC right now. That explains.
He's trying to take over the Capitol. we got. Oh, it's broken.
All right. So what were you saying though about Ali?
Yeah.
No, if you I'll talk about the Ali thing, right?
Yeah.
And I've been saying this on our show too. I don't understand. Like, as much as everyone's shitting on Retribution, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mustafa Ali is an amazing promo.
Yes, he is.
And what he said on that show were straight facts. And if you listen to what he said, and I know people were like, oh, you're disrespecting old people. Listen to what he said, word for word. He goes,
address that part too.
Yeah, he even said that. He goes, if you think I'm talking too fast, you're listening too slow. He goes, I understand that these people paved the way. Okay? He understands that these legends paved the way. But what he said also was, when is it my turn to walk on this path? He stated what I think a lot of wrestling fans have been talking about for the longest time.
Yeah, what I just was talking about a little while ago.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, it's like, why isn't this stuff on Raw? Why aren't these promos on Raw? The same thing with a couple of weeks ago with Big E and Paul Heyman. Why wasn't that on SmackDown? Or
Ricochet's promo. Ricochet's
promo. Why isn't that on Raw? Hell, I bet you most people don't even know that Mustafa Ali and Retribution had a segment on Main Event where he gave the microphone to everybody and said, tell them why you're here. And literally every member of Retribution explained why they're there for that cause. On Raw, we have yet to see that. So unless you're on the network watching Main Event, which I don't think a lot of people are, or on Hulu watching Main Event, like most people probably aren't, nobody hears this. We want to talk about building new stars. Give the new stars opportunity to be built. Don't save this. Don't, with all due respect to Talking Smack and Raw Talk, as much as I enjoy the shows when I watch them, that stuff should be on your main show. Millions of people tune into your main show and don't get to see this. But the hardcore, underground, whatever you want, the niche fans, whatever, we're the ones who know this, and we're sitting there telling other people, this is what you guys should be watching. This is what should be on your main show. And it never happens. That's, to me as a fan, it baffles the hell out of me.
Yeah. We got the mayor in the building. What's up, my man? You moving in slow motion. He's smoking a cigar like he normally do. What's going on, dude? Oh, you just gonna come in and chew up the scenery?
I think his audio's off.
You got to the point that I wanted to talk about with.
We can't hear you, man. Yeah, see if we can get yourself situated and hit us back.
But I know, I agree. This is just, and it's the times like this at the Rumble.
Yeah.
So wait, can we let's go on a positive note. Are we all still Team Bianca for Rumble? Do we think she's going to take it?
Yes.
Yes.
So do we agree it's going to be Bianca and Sasha And then we think it's going to be Charlotte and Asuka because they'll like break up or some bullshit.
Most likely, yeah, that's what it's leading to.
Yeah, because she got to get a win back. She got beat twice by Charlotte.
It's just
And
the thing
honestly,
is that makes me
Charlotte is
think.
a star.
The thing that makes me think though about Rumble, right? So we'll say they do Goldberg and just flat out Goldberg and Drew again. You got Roman and DB. You got we'll just talk the men's here. Who do you have from these rosters? You're probably gonna do Edge and Randy again.
Mhm.
Who do you like? Who's the Fiend gonna work with? I want to see on SmackDown at least Big E and Rollins. I think that'd be cool.
I'm actually a huge fan of that. Huge fan of that.
But are they going to do these because they have a lot of people, WrestleMania, they do want to advertise everyone. With all KO's been doing, you probably, do you see them maybe doing ladder matches, at least for one of the belts, like US or Intercontinental?
I don't know. I mean, personally, if we're not doing Keith Lee versus Brock, I would love to see Brock versus Lashley for the US title.
That won't happen. I would love it, but it won't.
Man, I would just want the match in general. It don't even have to be for
Yeah.
It don't have to be for a title, but you know what I mean?
just-
I'd be down for that too. I just want to see Brock and Lashley. Those two guys have never touched. That's the kicker. They've never touched.
If you were booking a 6-man ladder match for the IC title right now, SmackDown roster, you got Big E, probably got Rollins in there.
Yep.
You can put KO in there, put Sammy in there,
Mhm.
probably Ray.
Yep.
And who could be the 6? Is there a big name from SmackDown I'm missing? I just haven't said.
Goddamn Otis.
Honestly, they'd probably put Otis.
Either Otis or Corbin.
Ugh.
So Corbin.
Corbin's been a good hand, man. As much as we shit on Corbin on our show,
Mhm.
Corbin owned this King thing. Like, it wasn't like King Booker, pinkies up,
Or King Sheamus.
or King Sheamus, but Corbin
Was that
Regal.
No. King Regal is awesome.
I love King.
Your boy, Stu Barrett, Wade Barrett. King
Oh,
Barrett.
Bad News Barrett.
Yeah.
So, but no, I'll say this. I was a fan of the King gimmick. I think they need to do another King of the Ring, which should be held in Providence, by the way.
That should be every fucking year.
Agreed. You know, we are the royal country, as I say. But you know what I mean?
Austin
Like
Creed.
yeah, I'm pulling for Creed. Creed's wishing it into existence, man. I'm gonna keep all the New Day
Just like
vibes.
you did with G4.
Yeah. So he's great. Hey, congrats on G4, man. Props to him. I'm so happy he got it. But to me, I think Corbin has done a lot. He's been very consistent. He's always there. When was the last time he was injured? You know what I mean? Like, the guy, he's steady there. He eats all the crap. You know, the dude dealt with dog food. Reward him and put him in.
He has a YouTube channel where he cooks steaks.
Really?
Which looks bomb.
Yeah, his steak's always
No,
been good. He's always tweeting something.
Mhm.
But who do you? So I guess we're saying all these names, but where's the Fiend at Mania?
I think it's still him and Randy, man.
So what about
Is it-
Edge? Edge is
it.
going to be back.
Oh,
by
Edge in there
Mania.
too.
He's-
Triple threat.
Triple
I would
Fiend
like
match.
it, but
Nah, I don't know, man. It's a whole crazy thing because the thing with the Fiend and Orton is not resolved. I mean, you throw Edge in the mix. I mean, it is what it is because that's not resolved.
Hmm.
But
unless for some reason maybe Randy doesn't. Nah, I was gonna say maybe Randy doesn't work Mania.
How about this?
No.
Because
hands on
I
deck
heard
right
I heard at Firefly Funhouse they might do a Firefly Funhouse match, right? Randy and Bray at Rumble. Ugh.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing too.
yeah, so like you did
So,
with
but
Cena.
the thing, that's the thing. So, okay, they'll probably do. I bet you literally the same thing, just with Orton, which I think would be cool because they'll probably talk about how Orton was like a douchebag back in the day and all this other shit. But like, usually you kind of fade away after, unless maybe they do AJ and Edge. Actually, completely forgot about that.
I would be
Edge
cool with
put
that.
Edge put AJ right at the top of his list.
I kind of think is short term, not later on. It's going to lead to a tag match with AJ and Almas and Elias and Riker.
Oh, that's gonna suck.
I just want to see what Almost can do.
I want him to be good because he's huge.
He's huge.
Like, yeah,
He's huge. He's bigly.
and then I wonder when Strowman's gonna come back.
That's another thing, man. Like, what are we doing with Strowman? Like, there's so many people right now that are just
And
lost in the
Strowman-
sauce. I don't know.
You see how ripped he is now.
I don't think it has anything to do with those B12 shots.
I don't know, man. That's what you got to do when you ain't getting used because you fucking up or whatever.
Yeah, because
you just go home and get ripped.
Yeah, because sadly they dropped the ball. Strowman didn't do as good as I wanted him to do with that title.
As much as I liked Strowman at first, man, they dropped the ball with him so many times. I don't.
You need to work on that promo shit. Remember, he was talking against the Fiend, and the motherfucker didn't take a breath. He's just gonna doing what you're doing. I'm gonna go do. I gotta get you body everything that was wrong with me, and now you're manifesting into thing.
I don't like how he talks to the mic like this.
Like he's about to eat it.
Is that Ric Flair on your phone?
I thought it really was.
I thought it was. From that angle, like Ric Flair, I was like, what the hell?
Hey, they both styling and profiling. No, but yeah, you know, he's like, I'm going to beat your ass, Brock Lesnar. I'll admit though,
because I mean, I've said this yesterday, and I said it leading into the beginning of the show. Usually when we talking about these motherfuckers is some negative shit on how they fucking up or whatever. But do we have any positives? Do we have some light that we want to shed on professional wrestling right now? Hurt Business is always killing it or whatever, but we kind of want to steer away from
the women
WWE right now. Do we have any AEW news? We just watched a tribute show not too long ago, and that was fucking awesome.
Phenomenal.
That was great. That was phenomenal. Yeah, I just think I think AEW is killing it. Like I said, sometimes it's hard for me to get into, but overall, I'm a fan of it. Just never mind, we can't talk about it. It's negative. I'll bring it up later. It's AEW, but it's negative. But no, I think they're doing good. I still like Daily's Place. I think that's awesome where they have it at. Personally, I'm just a big fan. I'm excited to see Moxley come back tonight. You know, Omega, cool. I'm cool with it.
And then me and Anomaly talked about it a little bit yesterday. All these possible connections and whatnot for what AEW is, what it looks like AEW is trying to do. The connection with Impact, AAA, and presumably reconnecting with New Japan because Moxley is going to be facing somebody here soon, Kenta, for the IWGP United States title.
Is that going to be in Japan or here?
I think it's going to be States. Is it going to be in Japan?
All right. I think it's going to be here in America at the Cali.
Yeah, because
yeah,
see, there you go. Because they have New Japan has a dojo in Cali, and they doing American show tapings on New Japan Strong in Cali. So we got that going on. So it's just like, it seems like what we was talking about last time, how they just got all these connections everywhere. Marty Scurll got let go from ROH, or he didn't get let go. They parted ways amicably.
I heard WWE wants him though.
Yeah, they've wanted him for a while.
I see him just going to AEW, right? Being loyal with the boys and all that.
I mean, I don't know how loyal he would be right now, based on the fact that, you know, even going back to All In, there was always a rumor that there was a little bit of dissension at All In based on the
Okada match, right?
Yeah, after the Okada match, because I guess it ran a little bit too long, and they were afraid that it was going to cut off before the end of the show when they came out and give that big speech or whatever. And if you look at the big speech, he was the one member of the quote unquote elite that wasn't there. Like, he was the only one that wasn't at ringside, or that wasn't in the ring with them when they were all talking at the end of the show. So, and at the same time, money-wise, if WWE is throwing big bucks at you, and if your friendship isn't too strong, you may look the other direction. And it might be WWE's pickup. And don't get me wrong, NXT, he will be phenomenal. He'll come across as a huge star. We all know what happens when you go to the main roster, so we won't even talk about that right now. But honestly, if Marty was smart, maybe it is WWE. If he's in for the money and the fame, maybe it is WWE. If he wants to have a good old time, he goes hang out with his boys, goes to AEW, probably still make a decent amount of money. But I don't know. I really don't know what they're going to do with the guy.
One thing
I've completely forgot about that dude, man, until I seen the ROH posting, and I was just like, oh shit, I forgot he was a guy there.
Yeah.
And,
You
and
know
don't
what
get
I
me wrong,
wanted to-
Hardy's a great talent.
Yeah. One thing I want to talk about, I sent this screenshot to Rob. So there's this page on Twitter called WrestleVotes. They break a lot of news apparently. And they tweeted this morning. Just heard an interesting story. ... NXT talent was slated to be called up to SmackDown last week. As of Showtime, was written into the main event segment with Reigns, Uso, and KO. Said talent is on tonight's big NXT card. So curious to see if it was pushed a week or scraped altogether. Who would that have been? Because Ciampa, I don't think, is Ciampa fighting tonight?
I don't know if he's fighting this week or next week, but him and Thatcher are supposed to have the fight pit.
The only people I can think of is either it had to have been Ciampa, because maybe he was going to come to KO's side because KO helped him at War Games.
That's actually a really good point.
War Games.
You gotta say it. Honestly, I'm still banking on Undisputed Era. I don't know why. I feel like it's their time. They have nothing else to. Huh?
I said I like them.
Oh yeah, I love those guys. I've been an ROH guy for years, so I've been following them for a while. But to me, in WWE on NXT, there's really nothing left for them to do. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand why they're pushing for O'Reilly to get the main event push now, because he's the youngest out of all of them. He's a guy who has like immense talent. He's over as hell. Cole and Roderick are now in the Dusty Classic as the team representing Undisputed Era. And people that have been in the Dusty Classic have been on the main roster as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was UE that was supposed to show up. You know what I mean? Maybe they could be the ones to come after Roman. Or hell, even Cole winning the Rumble. We don't know. It could be a possibility. But I feel like right now, them pushing O'Reilly in the title picture is just solidifying his future status as a star. So with all due respect to Roderick, I love Roderick Strong. I've been a fan of him since Generation Next. The dude has been a great wrestler, but he's getting older. You know, Bobby Fish is like 43, 44 years old. You know what I'm saying?
He gets hurt a lot.
And he does get hurt a lot. You know, the two youngest ones are Cole and O'Reilly. I think O'Reilly might just be 30 or around 30, 31 years old, or maybe even younger, maybe still in his 20s. So I feel like they were just trying to elevate him and show that he has, you know what I'm saying, like, future star power written all over him as like a legit fighter, MMA influence.
Kyle O'Reilly is 33 years old.
Is he really?
I was just.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's in his younger 30s too. So him and Cole are around that like younger age bracket. So, but to me, it's UE has nothing left to prove in NXT. You know what I'm saying?
Cole is 31 years old.
Yeah. So yeah, they're the younger ones. So to me, them getting called up, it's about damn time. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like this past year, I understand why they were there, especially with Keith Lee leaving and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm a Kyle O'Reilly mark too. I was there when he won the title, you know, in Ring of Honor and stuff. But I don't know what it is with Undisputed Era. I feel like maybe Triple H is trying to keep them down there and trying to separate them and like, no, Vince, you don't need to see these four dudes. Don't worry about what they're doing. But eventually they do need the call up, and maybe it was them that could have been slated for that spot. I don't know.
I just don't see them getting called up unless it's all four at once. That's the only thing.
That's what I'm thinking. It has to be all four at one time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's going to be Cole or O'Reilly separately. I think if they go, they're all going.
Or at least three of them. I'll take the freaking Cole, freaking Fish,
O'Reilly
and Cole, Fish, and goddamn Roderick, and let O'Reilly do his own shit.
I wouldn't be mad at that either.
I just hope they don't mess up Karrion Kross. I'm a huge fan of him.
Dude. Listen to what the fuck you just said and the company that he works for. Listen to what you just said and the company he works for. You hope they, being WWE,
Vince
don't
McMahon,
fuck up Karrion Kross. You hope that. I'm going to boo you right now. I can boo you right now.
I didn't hit the booze. I mean, it's not like they have a track record of ruining, you know, NXT call-ups.
Besides, Keith Lee's obviously their biggest one, I would say, honestly, right? Would you say Keith Lee's probably the biggest one they've already screwed up?
Back, right?
No, I would say Seth. I would say the Shield were the biggest.
Screw-ups?
Uh-huh. Oh, screw-ups. Oh,
no.
No.
Yeah, that's why I said Keith.
Oh, no. Screw-ups? No, EC3.
Oh yeah, EC3.
How do you have EC3 debut? He points at a mirror. He defeats a former world champion, then loses to a former world champion, and then is chasing a 24/7 title.
You know what's so there's still talent too that haven't been signed from that. Like I can't believe Zack Ryder really isn't signed with a company.
Well, I mean, he's
I
chilling.
can kind of believe it.
Yeah, yes and no.
Yeah, I don't know. Him and Cody Rhodes are boys.
True.
Do you
And
see any of them coming back? Who got fired and haven't been? Who hasn't been signed somewhere? I guess besides him. Honestly,
Oh man, I got to think back to April now. It's,
I don't know. Well, I mean, we know
Sarah
people that
Logan
are
pregnant.
working, but I mean, ACH is still working. Leo Rush is still working. Matter of fact, they got fights tonight. Or was that last night?
what was it? I'm sorry.
Maybe last night.
ACH
Wednesday.
and Leo Rush, and I said they still
Oh yeah, Leo.
active right now.
Rush.
currently.
That was like Super Juniors.
MLW, right?
Yeah, I think MLW. They're doing something tonight, or it was last night. I'm
I think it's
lost on
last
my
night.
days.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
MLW
So.
is Tuesday. But yeah, like I don't know. I'm really surprised. Maybe Zack Ryder just doesn't want to. The dude was in WWE for a minute. He probably has money.
Oh yeah, he was there for what, like 15 years. Just
Then right now you got a sugar mama. His old girl
Yeah.
still work with the company
Do you-
or whatever. You probably
do you
just
think-
kicking back with his toys and shit and fucking
real?
raking
Do
it
you think
in.
Oscar was a screw up?
no.
For
I
a
would
point
say
in time, it felt
time,
that
yes.
way. But I mean, ultimately, she is better off than what she started, I believe.
True.
I
Yeah.
think Shayna's won.
I do, but
not
don't.
not saying she should already be champion or anything like that, but she's getting beat by like
You see,
everyone.
you see what we do to ourselves here. I just said we was going not too long ago. We was going to leave WWE and just worm its way back in. Fucking
what it does.
goddamn worms, man! It just burrow its way in there and it just sticks.
Well, I mean,
My
big
bad.
ass question.
Yeah,
But no.
that was
and
me.
I'll give you a quick list of people that I think are huge NXT call ups that they screwed up. Aleister Black was a screw up to
Oh
me
yes.
from the jump. He was a big screw up. Lars Sullivan screwed himself,
Yes,
so that's on him.
Ooh.
Tyler Breeze was a screw up
yes.
because he was over as hell down there. The Ascension is like the gold standard of screw ups.
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah.
They were the goal. I don't understand how you go undefeated for 2 years, leave as champions, forfeit the belt, or lose the belts on your way out in NXT, come up, have been built up as this monster group, and then you just job left and right. Tucker is a screw up based on the fact that Otis had all the success and Tucker is nowhere to be found.
Mhm.
Shouldn't have brought them up.
Yeah. Everybody else has been
Okay.
You know what I mean? Everybody else has been decent. I mean, you can't really call Lacey Evans a screw up because she had that moment in Saudi. She's beefing with Cardi B now, which is hilarious.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And she's been predominantly featured on the show. Same thing with Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross is a former tag team champion.
Mhm.
She's done her thing. Otis won Money in the Bank. The War Raider Viking Machine, whatever you want to call them, they had a tag title run.
Yeah.
So I mean,
What about Sanity?
Yeah, Sanity was another one. They
Yeah.
botched the script on that one royally.
They just dropped a grenade in there and kept Nikki.
Yeah.
Not Andrade, not yet.
No, Andrade, I can't consider him a screw up.
No.
Not yet, at least.
And Angel
I hope
Garza
not.
is doing okay for what they're doing with
Yeah.
him.
He's
But
not
he
good
wasn't
yet.
even really an
every
NXT
week.
guy though. Like he was only there for like a cup of coffee before they called him up.
Yeah, because he was like, wasn't he in the Cruiserweight Classic? Then he was on 205 Live, and then he went back to NXT because
He
him
won-
and
he
Leo
won
Rush had
the
a feud.
title.
Yeah, he was on NXT for the title for a little bit. I want to say like about 3 months, maybe.
If that.
Yeah.
Because
So-
he lost the Cruiserweight title at that Worlds Collide pay-per-view last year in January.
Yeah.
To
Devlin,
Devlin. And
Yeah.
Devlin still has the title.
who I've done a complete 180 on or whatever. I used to it's a Balor clone, and then I got to watch him work, and he kind of filled in his character, and I was like, I like that guy.
To quote the
I
great
like
Char-
I like Wapta.
to quote the great Charlie Murphy, this motherfucker had a big ass head, yo. That's all whenever I see Jordan Devlin, that's all that pops in my head. It's like, yo,
Yeah, it's just like they put the code in on NBA Jam. He just
Yeah, he got a big ass head.
for real. But Devlin's like, and question, are we ever gonna get that match? Him versus the dude from NXT that's the current cruiserweight champion. Are we ever getting
Escobar and Devlin? That's what I've been waiting on.
Yeah.
I hope he loses the Grand Metalik tonight. I don't even care if I said that.
I love Grand Metalik, by the way. I think he's amazing. I don't know what they're doing with him, but hopefully the
Lucha Party been lit in 2021. They've won a few good matches. One's in the title match tonight. And Kalisto, the star of the group on SmackDown, nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found. And he looks great. He came back looking ripped.
Shredded.
What I mean, is that another one? Because he was NXT Tag Champion as well, Lucha Dragons.
I mean, he won the U.S. title.
Yeah,
a couple of times.
Yeah,
he had won that.
He had that big moment off the ladder against the Usos.
Yeah,
and then was it him or was it Sin Cara in the Elimination Chamber, the tag one where they flew off the top? I know this year it was Lince Dorado, but that first tag,
I think it was Kalisto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was Kalisto too. Oh, which I'm not a fan of tag team elimination chamber matches, to be honest.
Yeah, two big sweaty men sweating meat in the chamber.
except I did mark out when Otis ran through that pod. He took that shit. Because what do you think was going through his head? Like fuck.
Get to that burger on the other side of the glass.
Because he was a big boy and he knew he was about to. Tucker looked amazing in that match, actually. By the way,
yeah.
But,
Tucker is surprisingly good, but he doesn't really get the chance to showcase it.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't what Vince wants. That's why I think Karrion Kross is what Vince wants. That's why I say I hope he doesn't fuck it up.
Hopefully,
he probably wants Scarlett. That's what he wants.
Yeah,
because go ahead.
No, you go.
No, I was going to say, going back to the positive things about pro wrestling, the tribute for Brody Lee was phenomenal. I can honestly say,
yes,
since either Owen or Eddie, I haven't felt emotionally like to the point where I'm going to cry watching a tribute show. And I won't lie, like the Eddie Kingston promo hit me so hard. The end of the night with Brody, with -1, Brody Jr. or whatever, that shit hit me. It like touched my soul, man. Mm-hmm. And the other things, the Impact AEW thing is phenomenal. Tony Khan is the best heel in pro wrestling when it comes to promo.
Buying the commercials and shit.
Those commercials are pure, like straight gold fire. I'm sorry, Tony Khan just roasted him. The best line of the whole thing was when he talks to Tony Schiavone. He goes, Tony, you worked for TNA, right? He goes, yeah, for one day. That was it.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I just showed it for one day.
He said, I worked there for one day and I quit the business for like 16 years or something like that.
Yeah, that shit was golden. But no, I love what AEW is doing. I love what Tony's doing. And I said this before. I think I said it here and I said it on the show too. I feel like there's a big opportunity when the world reopens and COVID is, better or whatever, that Tony Khan is planning something huge. And like I said before, you own a football stadium.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You now own a wrestling company. You're working on
soccer stadium too, I believe.
Yep. Over in the UK, they own a soccer. I think it's like Fuller or Fulmer in the UK. You know what I'm saying? Like you have all of this stuff, right? You're now networking with Impact. You're networking with New Japan, working with AAA. Like I said before, what's stopping this man from throwing his own annual once a year, Worlds Collide or, WrestleFest or whatever the fuck he wants to call it, and just have everybody from every company come over. And I personally, I was to say this take on Sunday for the show. Your main event for that show could be Kenny Omega versus Kota Ibushi. The match
me and Anomaly talked about that last night.
That could be the match. It could be the match to main event. Like you want to sell out a football stadium, there's your main event. You know what I'm saying? You can get Okada to come down here and fight somebody else. You can have the guys from the Bullet Club come back. You got the guys in Impact that you're working with, the young X Division guys, the X Division versus the Super Juniors. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
That'd be fucking amazing.
That would be greatness. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the guys from AAA, the Luchadors that are down there. You know what I'm saying? You can have Los Ingobernables in Mexico.
All of them just get back together. Yeah.
All of them either get back together or battle for the rights to who owns the name or some shit. You know what I mean? There's so many possibilities with all of these companies if they work together. And I know everybody as fans go, oh, who's going to go over? Who's going to do this? I don't care.
You win.
We win.
We win.
We win. You know what I'm saying? As fans, we all win. So I don't know when, Tony, if he's ever going to do it, but just imagine that possibility of something like that occurring. And hell, even Triple H says they're open to working with people. What if NXT goes and is represented? Like, that's the WWE representation for something like
that.
You know what
I would love that. I would love it, but I can't see that happening.
I mean, hey, you never know. I remember, it's the wrestling business. Never say never.
How great do you think WWE is going to be when Triple H actually runs it?
I don't think he'll actually run it.
So who do you think takes Vince's spot? Like, who do you think will be the Vince when Vince leaves? Don't say Bruce Pritchard.
Oddly enough, I think it might be Shane.
Oh, which I'm cool with.
I'm okay with Shane.
I'm cool with anyone, but I'm cool with damn anyone but Vince.
Yeah. Oddly enough, I think it might be Shane.
I actually have a take about how to fix Raw.
Do tell me.
I have been waiting forever to say this take, and I'm happy I can say it.
I've been waiting forever to hear it. Then
I got two people.
2 words for you.
No, I got 2 people.
No,
2 people that would piss off the wrestling world. But if you really think about it, how much worse can it get?
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 people who I say, Vince, let them take over Raw.
Holla.
No. The first person, I will say, let him take over Raw. Internet wrestling community, get ready to destroy me. Vince Russo.
Oh.
Give him the reins. Give him the reins.
Oh.
I say it. You know why?
Why
Could
not?
he do any worse?
Yes.
Yeah, true enough.
But if you think about it, but Nick, here's the thing, right? Because I know you always say you're the younger fan, right? Rob, if you go back in time, when Vince Russo was in WWE, they were succeeding. They were drawing ratings. Yes, it isn't what traditional wrestling fans want to see, but he knew how to draw in the casual crowd. He knew how to make these storylines feel somewhat important. Everybody on the roster was involved in something. No matter who it was, from the top to the bottom, they were involved in something. Is he someone that you would trust with your money? Fuck no. But he was the guy that Vince McMahon listened to. You know what I'm saying? Or that Vince McMahon, like, he listened to Vince, but Vince also controlled what he wanted to do. So if he wants to go over the top, Vince can be like, nope, we're not going to go over the top that way, but we can change it up and do it like this. But it would still be somewhat entertaining.
Yeah, it'd be amicable. It'd be like some kind of middle ground.
Yes. Who's the second then?
The second person,
Jeff Jarrett,
is Jeff Jarrett. It's Jeff Jarrett. I'm being dead serious. You want me to tell you why? Jeff Jarrett,
motherfucker, smart regardless.
Yeah.
Yes. Jeff Jarrett is very smart. Fun fact: when the whole trial thing was going on back in the '80s with him and you know what I'm saying in the courts and stuff. The guy Vince was originally supposed to leave the company to if he was to go to jail was Jerry Jarrett, Jeff's dad.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, when we talk about, the next young generation of wrestlers, you could bring out a guy like Jeff Jarrett and make him the quote unquote authority or the boss because he knew how to develop that next set of talent. If you think about what happened 15, 20 years ago with TNA, he developed AJ Styles. He developed Jay Lethal, James Storm, Bobby Roode. He was able to develop young talent and learn how to get them over. He got people over based on the fact, and he understood how to use legends and young talent and mesh them together where eventually the young talent would get over on the legends. Mm-hmm. So as much as people be like, oh, that's insane, that's stupid. No, it wouldn't be. Trust me. Jeff Jarrett is a wrestling mind as well as a business mind.
Yeah, you're right.
Because regardless of the failures and success of TNA or whatever the case may be, Jared was there, but he also knew when to get the fuck out.
Exactly.
When he seen that shit going down, he was just like, all right, I'm gonna sell a portion of this company and I'm gonna slide back a little bit. And then after he's like, this shit was going down, he's like, I holla. And he was gone.
Yeah. But no, I mean, like I said, I know the internet wrestling community is probably looking at me like, what the fuck is this motherfucker smoking? You know what I'm saying? But in all actuality, why not?
You know, hey man, I am all for Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett is my wrestling deity. He is the one that brought New Japan into my life.
Exactly. I'm with
You know,
Jeff
he
Jarrett.
brokered the deal for that Wrestle Kingdom pay-per-view to be broadcast in the United States and whatnot. So I am forever grateful to Jeff Jarrett. He also gave me AJ Styles.
Mhm.
You know, so
Yeah.
I mean, I am grateful to this man. He fucking Kurt Angle wife. That's weird, but
That's a whole different story within itself.
that's his personal shit. I don't give a fuck about that. That's
you do what you do. But let me ask you then. So do we all agree? Do you guys actually think Vince retires ever, or he goes till he dies?
Oh, Vince is gonna go till he die.
He
So
gonna die
do you
next
think
year.
this? So do you think there's a better chance of Vince retiring, or I'll say this guy's name, Punk coming back in the ring? In the ring.
Punk coming back in the ring?
Yeah, Punk. Because Vince ain't gonna leave till he like 110.
And he's a healthy dude, right?
And
From my
got stem
understanding.
cells in his desk drawer and shit. He freaking
On a serious
baby
note, dude,
fetuses for breakfast and shit. He'll live forever.
Yeah, like on a serious note, does Vince have like health problems at all?
I heard rumors that he has some type of health problem, but I haven't really read anything on it or looked it up. But
That's something you rarely hear.
yeah.
You
I mean, the
never
motherfucker
hear.
just jumped off a stage at WrestleMania. So
Yeah, he just
like, stop being a bitch, Gronk. Look, woo,
woo.
here.
He just aged.
It's
Yeah,
funny.
he-
Like he jumped in the bag, then he looked up at him like,
You ready, bitch?
Yo. Yeah, so I don't even know, man. Yeah, that's all I really had.
I don't know.
So
but
I guess
mean,
so. Who?
I am
guess we-
just, I'm not wishing death or ill will on anybody,
Hey,
but
no,
it's going to
same
be
here.
interesting times whenever that time comes to where either he steps down for whatever reason, if that's the reason, or if he passes away or whatever the case may be. Wrestling will forever change, and I'm waiting for that.
Imagine the tribute that dude's gonna get.
Oh, and he deserves it.
He will be.
He does.
They will put him in the Hall of Fame. That's when they'll put him in after he's gone.
Yeah. He won't go till he's gone. I bet you. So
He didn't even want to go while he was still here.
I bet you the same with the Triple H character.
Mm.
If Triple H, he'll probably go in as Evolution, right? Do we agree Evolution will probably go in eventually?
Well, he's already in with DX.
He already in,
so he'll probably go in with Evolution.
Mhm.
But I don't see Triple H himself
Triple
going in.
H will be the first 3-time Hall of Famer.
No, Ric Flair.
Triple H,
Mhm.
3 times.
Oh,
You get it?
HHJ,
You
fuck
see what
you.
I'm saying? He'll go in
Well,
he'll go in with DX, he'll go in with Evolution, and he'll go in by himself.
Well,
And
that
I'll
would
say this
make
would-
Ric Flair one. Ric Flair would be one too, because Ric Flair, he's in with the Four Horsemen, then he'd be in with Evolution too.
True. But I'll say this about Vince. I know a lot of people, we all joke about how Vince is out of touch and all this other shit. Like you said, Rob, the day Vince dies, the wrestling world will change forever. Like, we are all going to mourn this man once he's gone.
Oh yeah.
That's the best way I could put it. Because like, if he's gone for good, he's gone for good. What up, Carl?
What's happening?
Carl just walked into the door.
Oh!
Carl!
Oh!
I'm gonna take the headset out real quick. What's happening?
Oh!
Carl, let's go.
What happens when Vince dies?
Oh, like he was just saying, the wrestling world's gonna like change.
Forever.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it all depends. Like as far as WWE wise, it depends on like who's gonna take it over. If Triple H is gonna be the one, is gonna be the beneficiary, I think we're gonna be okay. We're gonna get like a whole entirely different product. Like it's gonna revert back to the NWA days with with being mostly a sport-based wrestling product. But if there's some type of keep it the way I want it, then yeah, we're screwed.
Yeah, we're screwed.
Hey, before we go into wrestling, I know the Patriots didn't do that good this year, but we did better than Carl's sorry ass Cowboys.
All right.
Sure the fuck did.
I feel so bad for your last year of that football game.
Dude, we
I feel
couldn't.
so
I'm
bad.
like, just challenge the damn play. You would have challenged that catch.
But you know he actually had the ball, right?
I saw it land on the floor, but it is what it is. Like I you know what? I'd rather have a 6. Like we're probably gonna get like 8th, but I'll take that over like 16th.
It's okay.
So
Y'all need number 1 for 8 years straight.
Ooh, thank you. Ooh.
You bringing pamphlets? What is this?
B-Rob, what's happening?
Man, I'm just draped in gold, baby. That's how we do it.
Yeah, I saw the picture earlier. I feel left out.
Yeah.
You got ice cubes. That works.
Yeah.
Ice Cube hurting the business, I guess. We good.
Hey. Prayers to Dr. Dre. Prayers to Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Crazy.
Yep. Yeah, he's sick or something.
I caught a little. I managed to catch a little bit. You know, I literally just got off work. I came to pick up something. I'm like, let me drop this off and then crash, bitches. Can y'all even
So
hear?
wait. Yeah. We gotta ask Carl. So did you see how Drew and Goldberg are fighting each other? I guess we need we need to get his Rumble Mania outtake quick.
Did I miss B-Rob's go the fuck home Goldberg?
No, we actually did. Rob's never done one on Goldberg, surprisingly.
Oh,
I'm ready for it though. I'm ready for it.
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
I'll turn this up.
I am for it.
Well, hey Rob, sorry, pressure's on.
I mean, I gave you.
Cash it in, motherfucker. Oh, shit. Cash it in. Got it. Oh, didn't even do one.
God damn it! What the fuck? Hold on. Do I got to put a minute on the clock? I was prepared to let it go.
Is wait, is this
It's either that or Matt Hardy talking about he's the greatest tag team champion of all time. What did
Who
you
said that?
Nah, do go.
That was a convincing argument.
Who said that? What? Who said what?
You didn't see that video?
Oh no, you didn't?
What?
Wait,
Matt
is it
Hardy
Matt
talking about
Hardy's
he's the
video?
greatest. Him and Jeff are the greatest tag team of all time, and he repeated it like 30 times during the video.
Was this an old video or a recent
No,
video?
this came out like a couple of days
Like,
ago. It was
like
Tuesday.
2 days ago. Yeah, like 2 days ago.
I got it.
You know, I'm not gonna gripe too much about that because I mean, I won't say they are the. Put that shit
Yeah,
down.
that's it.
Put that shit down. I don't want to see that shit.
Send it to him after.
Yeah.
Send it to me after. I don't want that bullshit.
He made compelling arguments. Like he said, you know, they did win multiple tag team titles and stuff.
But they were mostly in WWE, aside from the regional ones that he got.
But then they did mention Impact ones.
Well, they did do like a little title sweep or whatever before they came back to WWE or whatever.
True.
They had the ROH titles, I believe, and
Yep.
they had a couple of other
And
promotions.
the TNA Impact titles and all
Yeah,
that. And
I mean,
both of
they
them-
did a sweep, but I mean, they never been to Japan or nothing like that. So I mean, it's
Go
a
the
compelling
fuck home,
argument.
Goldberg.
I'm not gonna say that they're the best, but they're one of the best.
I'd say-
my top five.
But
Top five,
Oh,
definitely.
easily top.
But
easy.
that's only
the
in
fuck
part
off.
due to the hand that the Dudleys played into that. If they were never in those TLC matches, they would have never been shit. I said it. God damn it. Jeff Hardy, God rest his soul. I know he ain't dead, but daggone, he should be multiple time champion right now. I mean, I know he is in a certain sense, but I mean, he should have a current run right now as
Yes.
WWE champion. He could have had 2 runs currently, along with Bobby Lashley, along with
MVP.
MVP. I ain't saying a heavyweight title run, but at least an Intercontinental or U.S. title. I think he did already, but that was like Fugazi shit or whatever. It wasn't like an official title win. Or whatever.
Yeah, no.
He debuted the Dipset belt.
Yeah, MVP just held the belt and he brought in the new belt, which if I can thank Vince for anything, I thank him for that. That my favorite motherfucking United States champion, MVP, introduced another title, introduced a new title, and was able to freaking work with some young talent and get the title. Anyway, I'm ranting.
my
about
MVP
that.
of
Love me some MVP.
Oh, hands down.
And then
Yeah.
you have Goldberg.
And then Goldberg.
Damn
That's
it, Nick, why you gotta keep bringing that shit up?
sorry, son of a bitch. Man, greatest Goldberg match I've ever seen was him versus DDP.
Halloween Havoc 98, and most of the people didn't see it because the pay-per-view live feed cut off.
Which you can watch on the WWE Network, not sponsored by this show.
For $9.99.
Yeah, for $9.99. Yeah, that's
$4.
the greatest Goldberg match you will ever see. Greatest Goldberg match you will ever see. You can talk about him and Brock, little match or whatever. That's the Southern thing. They little match that they did. But nah, fuck that dude. Fuck that dude. I can't even formulate nothing to say about it, dude. I'm just like, fuck that dude. Period. Fuck him.
Like Parlay said.
He hurts himself more than look what he did to Bret Hart.
That's all you gotta say.
That's all I gotta say. Look what he did to himself at the Saudi show. Ran his own fucking head into the goddamn post, which made old ass Undertaker have to carry him. What the fuck are we doing? Was that 2020?
Yeah.
No, 2019.
I was talking to
Old ass Goldberg and goddamn
it
Undertaker.
was February.
Was it in February?
No, because Goldberg beat the.
Yeah, it was 2020.
No, 2019.
Yeah, it was 2019.
Either way,
$1 billion.
none of it that means it's fucking wrong. It's fucking wrong. It should never be a Goldberg Undertaker match in 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017, 2016, 2015, 2014, 2013, 2012, 2010, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, or freaking 20, 2000. Just fuck it. It should be now. None of them goddamn matches ever.
We never did get that match in the
existed
era when Goldberg did have that run.
I'm saying.
Goldberg can run his ass to the back of the line and just get the fuck off my TV. That's where he can run. You can run his old ass there. He can spear his ass into his fucking car door and goddamn drive the fuck home. That's what he can do.
What does he have to prove?
Nothing.
That's the kicker.
Yeah.
But he needs to be world champion.
Why?
For what?
Give him the only thing that I'll give him. He wanted to wrestle one more time so his son can see it. I get that.
Yeah.
I understand that. But he did that shit. He don't need to do it no more.
I had a universal title run. That was just kind of like whatever.
Two of them bitches.
That was more of a, oh, okay, it's nice to see that.
I was fine with that.
Now we're ready to move on.
Yeah, then he beats the Fiend, and I'm like, I hate you.
Yeah. Were they able to put him in the Hall of Fame?
He's in there.
2018 he went after
All right,
right?
Yeah, because I'm confused about that Hall of Fame that they canceled because of the COVID shit. We never got that.
That was Batista.
Yeah, that was like the JBL, Batista,
and
Bella Twins.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be this coming up.
But you heard the story about what happened at Goldberg's Hall of Fame speech, right? Half of the arena was already gone.
Oh yeah, because that shit goes to like damn near
The
2 in the
wrestlers
morning.
were gone.
Because, like myself, they don't give a fuck.
Well, I also think they have that bitch go too late because that was the year Hacksaw Jim Duggan, I think, went off on a tangent. Because then, if you notice, if you watch the 2019 Mania, that one was way quicker. Besides the part when Bret Hart got kind of
Got
attacked,
tackled and shit.
and it pisses me off too because I thought that was such a.
Whoa, he got me.
Here's what I'll say about Goldberg, right? Dear William Goldberg, I want one match with you and one match with you only.
Retirement.
Fight Riddle.
Oh my God.
Please fight Matt Riddle.
Oh,
I will take back everything that I have to say about Goldberg if you fight Matt Riddle.
Fight Matt Riddle. That's all I want.
I would never say another disparaging word about Bill Goldberg if he fought Matt Riddle.
Fight Matt Riddle.
Though.
That's right, because you don't want that Riddle smoke. You don't want that smoke. I'm sorry. You can come in, you can politic all you want. You ain't never gonna get that. So fight Riddle. Fight Riddle if you want my respect back. Same thing with Brock. Hey Brock, fight Riddle. Please fight Riddle.
Brock would probably fuck him up.
Oh, Brock would probably fight that motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I want that match.
We want the smoke.
I want that match.
I tried to do this right.
Yep. Who's that other person?
That's me and Nick.
That's in the
That's
mix.
Remember from the group chat? And then I was John Cena.
Yeah, I mean, damn. Yeah.
Come on, Joe.
Show.
Unfortunately, Eddie's not here. We're all tall.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Eddie. I'm sorry, Eddie. I love it. No. You guys don't even hear the worst part of it.
Eddie be getting fired up, man. He be getting fired on and fired up.
It's okay. He's a tough little guy. But no.
Hey, man. Why you being short with that dude right now?
I love Eddie. But when the show's over, for the next 20 minutes after Sunday's show, him and Kyle just kept going off and just stopped. I was like, Kyle, leave him alone. He has a short fuse.
God damn.
Man, why you got to bring up his shortcomings like that?
Let's just say whenever they're walking down the stairs, Eddie always makes sure Kyle goes first in case he has to kick. Breaking kayfabe, but yeah.
And that's
So,
that.
we have nothing to love for Eddie. Eddie's hilarious.
I mean, shit, Carl. What you got on the docket, man? I mean, what you got to say about professional wrestling as a whole? What you got?
Damn. On the spot. Hey, remember, I wasn't expecting this. I missed Wrestle Kingdom, but shout outs to Kota Ibushi.
Hell yeah.
That's my favorite.
We reviewed the show last night. You can go into the archives on randomrob.com and look for Wrestling is Trash.
Shout out to Anomaly for doing that.
Yeah.
AEW. Now, okay. Love the Brody episode. Loved everything. I was like this close to coming here on UWO with a stack of papers and throwing in my Kyle and then leaving. Like, I'm just watching it. Y'all talking about it. I'm just like, what? Like
Dina was supposed to bring me papers and she didn't bring me papers.
She bring you papers? You gotta throw papers on her.
Well, I can't.
Mm-mm. Hey man, you don't be throwing no papers at no lady. She give you the wrong papers. You losing half
She
the shit.
got all the good papers. She got like the 110-pound papers and shit. She's a crafter.
Oh
Papers
yeah,
hurt more.
yeah. She got the concussion papers.
Hmm.
WWE. There's like so much going on. There is some good things going on that people have tendencies to like not want to look at because it is, to me, it just seems like a lot of people like to shit on WWE for the sake of shitting on WWE, but they tend to like ignore all the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't know if you heard about the whole Cardi B and Kevin things. Kind of stupid, but they could use that to his advantage.
I just want to see Cardi B pull up, see what happens.
Yeah.
That's what I'm waiting
Like
on.
they have so much good stuff. The Rumble's coming up. Do I think it's gonna top last year's Rumble? Absolutely not.
Hell no. Not even close.
But
Did y'all discuss Terry crying over cold shoulders?
Man, fuck Terry.
Fuck!
oh,
Get my follow.
is everybody's cool to me? Yeah.
I mean, he who shall not be named. That's how I feel about him.
I don't like him. Fuck him.
To quote Big Swole, I don't think that's the reason why, Terry.
Yeah, but shit, Nick saw my reaction to that shit at WrestleMania.
I was
like,
with you.
yeah, and I'm sitting in the chair like,
I was booing with you.
yeah, you was like, yeah, Hogan,
Nah.
and he looked over at me like,
No.
oh, yeah, ooh, Hogan.
Hey, this is where the young fandom in me kicks in. I don't know shit about Hogan all like that. So fuck him.
You know what I say? I'm like, did you watch a Hogan match? Like, are you
Yeah,
old
his-
enough to watch? Like,
Yeah,
to
his-
have known Hogan in his prime?
From him and The Rock on.
The only thing that Hogan did to make me pop was damn, we needed the freaking RKO.
When
And
he,
for those people who are wondering when we're going to get over this, it's been about 400 years. We're still waiting.
Yes.
So trust me, Terry, you can just join the line.
The only people that discuss reparations for black people was on a fictional show called Watchmen.
Oh,
Give it to you.
He just said it. He said maybe Terry's in the crowd in DC right now.
Damn. Damn. Damn.
I don't even know.
Well, gentlemen, I mean, do we have anything else that we want to put on the docket before we slide out of here?
I'm hungry.
Johnny Hungy.
Johnny Hunky.
Nick, did you leave yet?
He's
Yeah,
already-
I'm California.
Oh, beautiful sun.
I know, son.
It's like it's sunny.
It's about to get dark in like 4 minutes up here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally.
1:30 here.
10. Day extends for like 2 minutes. After the new year.
Ooh, wow.
So yeah, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a quiet Rumble.
Hey, man,
Here.
just like Ali said, they'll pump up the noise for him.
I'll get into
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, we talked about it. Thoughts.
Yeah,
Oh my God. Yeah, this is why I love Ali so much. Like, the kid is gold. You know what? This could be has potential to resurrect Retribution.
Yeah.
If they go with this, but we know that they're not, but the story's right there. Like,
what,
it's
what's funny
right
though,
here in front of their faces, and they're not gonna go with it.
what's also funny about that too is R-Truth was sitting there like, hey dog, hey man, you threatening my job security, player.
Yo, I saw a meme that said, "Why does R-Truth always look spooked out on Raw Talk?"
He does. He always looks spooked out.
Because it's just like R-Truth had that moment in the sun too, to where he was speaking some real shit, but it quickly turned to all this shenanigans, shucking and jiving, little Jimmy bullshit real quick. And I'm wondering if he knows something that those guys don't, because Ali was talking that real shit that R-Truth once upon a time did, and was quickly turned off to that. And now R-Truth was sitting there like, hey man, he talking that real shit, dog. You need to calm the fuck down before you be in some shit.
Like, motherfucker, being in the barbershop.
But here's the thing, though, they could turn it around. Lovely.
They can, but will they?
They get all the talent that's being underutilized, and he just starts preaching. And we know Ali can preach. He's one of the few wrestlers that don't need a script, that they don't let have a script. Remember, he was doing the old cutting promos on a camera phone. Shout out to the Nah. But like, Vince gave him the blessing to do that.
Yeah.
Run with it. The story is there. Use it.
I mean,
That's all I got.
it's almost in the vein of like what AEW was doing with Darby Allin. They're just like, hey man, just do your own vignettes, do your own promos, just take the camera out and go do what you're gonna do. And that's the same thing. Ali was doing that before Darby was.
Yeah.
You know? And I just like, whatever, man. Whatever, man. Anyway, it's making me sad the more that I think about it. That what Carl's saying, will they capitalize on it? No. But if there's a chance, I'm willing to, have some solace in that. Just hopefully, maybe, possibly. It could be like that Coda Punk, when he was out there preaching to him and everything. You look, Ali got the long hair too, man. He could be skin of bronze. He could be Jesus-like. He can have a. I'm just saying.
I'm with you on that.
He ain't the Monday Night Messiah. We don't want none of that shit. Get that the fuck out of here. But
retribution. Take what you have. We'll be under retribution and just say, hey, this is who I am. This is why we're doing this.
They started out hot, but they fucked it up.
Yeah,
I like the idea that you couldn't tell who they were. I mean, there was some that were obvious, but like it was a mob of motherfuckers, and then you might think it's Mercedes Martinez, or you might think it's this person, but it's they're all
Malcolm Bivens,
and it was just fucking amazing. I like that whole concept. They just mobbed the motherfucking building. He say what he got to say, and then they dip out, they beat some ass, and it's cool. They could have stuck with that, but pandemic. I'm always forever say that until I'm proven wrong that they have a limited staff and this is all they can do. But that's par from the course. I'm gonna put this last comment on the screen, and I'm gonna get the fuck out of here because I'm getting pissed. And Nick is hungry, and I'm starting to get there too.
I gotta go food shopping in a little bit too.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, we're gonna go that way to Nick, this way to Nick. There you go. I found it. Tell them where they can find you on social media.
There you
go. Nick Anicelli, my name. There on Twitter and Instagram.
Word. What y'all got down yonder?
Well, you can find me at Mr. Bird 1027 everywhere, and at Codex Prime Podcast, where we will be back next week, myself included. So, that's where you can find me, pretty much everywhere. Mr. Bird 1027, Codex Prime Podcast. Slopes.
UWO Podcast on Facebook, on all audio forums as well. UWO 401 on Twitter, and my Twitch, Monstar 401, where I teach Carl how to DJ.
In my house, and then actually have you work with some real turntables instead of
all you do is push a button.
You do the same thing.
That's right.
And
better.
We'll see the difference. But you know what? The Adventures of Brian and Carl got to come back to them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm down to see. I'm down to see a battle with you on actual turntables and you on the freaking fuser. I'm down to see that.
Bring it.
The wrestling themes.
You
you
gotta
guys
give
did
the
that one
people
time.
what they want.
That and the wrestling themes thing you guys did was pretty dope.
I actually did like the wrestling theme one. That was fun.
That was fun.
Oh, the
We went song for song.
the versus
yeah,
battle.
that was pretty
Yeah,
fun.
that was pretty legit.
Word.
We gotta do
But
that.
on behalf of myself and these lovely array of gentlemen here, yes, I called you lovely. Isn't they lovely? Isn't they wonderful? See, there you go. Taking it. Follow Wrestling is Trash on social media platforms to include Twitter at Wrestling Be Trash, Instagram at Wrestling is Trash. You can find all the episodes, video and audio on randomrob.com. And that's it. We out this bitch.